Welcome to this episode of Executive Tech Talks, the show where we talk to financial services executives about their technology tribulations and triumphs. Many thanks to ServiceNow, who is our exclusive sponsor for Series 2. What role does and should AI and machine learning play in supporting the digital experience, and how does it play that role?
The amount of information that digital customer-facing applications create is enormous, and there is some value in manually looking at the data. There's a lot of value in looking at the data in an automated way, and there's an incredible amount of value in looking at and mining that data for unexpected items. As we discussed, resiliency in these large digital presence is a function of looking at different domains, fault domains, where maybe you've deployed code to one domain and not to the others. So to understand the difference in behavior between those domains, even before your customers know, obviously ideally before your customers know, is really important. But you don't know what you're looking for. In other words, there is this massive set of data. You're looking for deltas, looking for differences. So maybe you're looking for differences compared to 10 minutes ago before we did the deployment. Maybe you're looking for differences between A, B, C, D, and E. There's a lot of ways of slicing that data. Obviously, this is a beautiful example of where machine learning, where AI can play a very important role. You have these massive sets of streams, of metrics, of logs, of user click streams. What do we see? And so the ability to get that data and process it, real time through a machine learning environment can be a real game changer when it comes to resiliency. It allows you to detect problems or improvements or just differences in behavior between application code that was just deployed a few minutes ago and what's live, or detect issues before the wider audience is aware that they're occurring. So there's a ton of value there.
Excellent. So you really see that there's an enormous role for AI and machine learning to play, and as you described it, in really knowing what to look for, because figuring out what to look for is kind of the strength and the forte of AI and machine learning. If you know the questions to ask, not so helpful, but if you need help in asking the right questions, that's where the real value is.
100%. And I think what you've seen in the industry is a real drive to not just look at logs, but to look at metrics. Make metrics a first-class component of the things you look for, but again, it's a massive amount of metrics we tend to collect, and so that's where I think it's really exciting. Do we think so? From my engineering point of view, do we see things slow down, or do we see jittery patterns or patterns that are just out of the ordinary? And again, this is not 1 or 2 or 10 or 100 different streams. There are many thousands or millions streams that you have to be looking at real time, which is obviously where your machines can do a better job than your humans.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Executive Tech Talks, and a special thanks to ServiceNow, who is our exclusive sponsor for Series 2.